Yes, that's right, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV. And yes, that's right, it is blowing dogs off chains. Oh, the bells are going. Oh, crikey. That was close to a full end, a full end over. Now, we're sailing downwind here and we need to turn round. And traditionally, oh, a bit of water in the air. Traditionally, when you're sailing downwind, the method of turning is, of course, the jibe. But, yeah, every time I turn any further downwind, even easing the sheet, crikey, I can't even see. Yeah, the bows are dipping big time. So, we definitely don't want to jibe. So, what we're going to do is what we're calling the long tack. And that is going for the tack from the downwind point of sail. This is nothing to be ashamed of. Sometimes going for the jibe would be irresponsible. Let's call it irresponsible to do that. So, oh gosh, so salty. My eyeballs, where are my sun god sunglasses? Not on, that's where. All right, so 2 ways we can do this is the first way is as we head up into the wind to go for our tack, we'll just bring the main sheet in as we come up, like this, bringing the main sheet in as we come up, and to get her through the tack, we are going to need quite a lot of main sheet in, just to get the pressure. Well, firstly, we need the main sheet in tight so that we can start our tack from an upwind point of sail. If the main sheet's loose, like there, if the main sheet's loose, we're not moving, which means if we try shoving the rudders away, the boat stops before we get head to wind and we just turn back onto our original course. I'm sure most people have experienced this at some point. So, what we need to do is bring the main sheet in. But you may think, but when I bring the main sheet in, this happens. Let's demonstrate. Yeah, every time I pull the main sheet in, the hull starts lifting, and I don't want that to happen. Yeah, so if that starts to happen, what that means is you can point the boat closer to the wind. As long as we're moving forwards nicely, that doesn't mean going very fast. In fact, using the water speed app, yeah, we're doing 5 knots here, which is plenty. It means, yeah, there's the hull lifting. We can just poke it up a little bit more. So then from there, boat moving forwards, we can then go for the tack, and we're going to push the rudders hard away from this point. Here we go, pushing hard away, and then boom comes towards you. That's the time to move. Okay, we did have to back it round a little bit there. So, yeah, this is tricky. If, well, it's not that tricky to be honest. Just takes a little bit of timing. This is what we call the 3-point turn. So, part of our long tack might be the 3-point turn, which, if we just demonstrate a deliberate, let's call it the static 3-point turn. This is the best way of turning round if the boat is pointing the wrong way and you want to tack but you don't want to get it going. And we'll do this without even steering. Here we go, 3-point turn coming up. Traveller just inside the tow strap. This is the same for all boats. And we're going to pull the main sheet in tight. That's going to get the boat to head up into the wind. When the boat is head to wind, main sheet off, rudders the other way. And then as soon as the boat's through the wind, it will start moving forwards, which in this wind is very obvious. And then we straighten up, sit down and look forwards. Let's just do that one more time. Woo. All right, so going to keep control of the rudders this time, because that's what you would probably want to do, is we're going to sheet in. As we sheet in, boat comes up into the wind. As soon as we head to wind, reverse the rudders We're waiting for the boom to come towards us, looking forwards for what's happening. Okay, that one didn't go. All right, that happens. You know, sometimes that's going to happen. So what we'll do is we'll bring the traveller in a bit more. That means we'll get more pressure to push us more into the wind. So here we go. Sheeting in the sheets, up into the wind. We're head to wind, pulling the rudders towards. All right, yes, she's turning, you can see that. So get across the boat reasonably quickly. Main sheet is out. And I want to sit down and look forwards as soon as we can. All right, one more 3-point turn, and then I think we've smashed it. All right, so main sheet coming in. Gonna try to do this without using the stick again. And as soon as we're head to wind, reversing the rudders, that's the trick. Not too soon. Don't break the stick, that's what they said. Is that head to wind? Oh, I'm not sure, let's pull it in a bit more. So by having the main sheet in like this, the boat's just sitting really close to the wind, and there it is, we're definitely, so we can see we're kind of going forwards a bit, then backwards a bit. So when we hit the backwards a bit, that's when we need to reverse the rudders, let the main sheet off. So we're going forwards a bit, boat's turning up, and backwards a bit there, main sheet off, and move across the boat. Straighten up the rudders, main sheet is out. There we go. So I hope that that was a helpful explanation on the 3-point turn, because this manoeuvre, you're going to go sailing, in fact any wind, you could do it in light wind as well. If your tack goes wrong, this is going to save you a lot of hard times. So practice the 3-point turn, it is good. All right, back to the long tack. So here we go, we're going to go through the whole thing. So we're going to start off sailing downwind. Every time we bear away, the bows go down, as indicated by the bows going down. And yeah, I do not wish to jibe. All right, so it is so windy, in fact, as I head up, I'm not going to sheet in at the same time. And when the boat kind of stops, that's when we know that's the angle that we need to start off our tack from. So then we need to sheet in the main, and going to push hard, and then it's kind of a 3-point turn here. All right. So to get the tack to go differs a little bit from boat to boat, but I'm going to pull the traveller in most of the way, and then we'll start to sheet in. Go for the tack, main sheet off, and then if we were needing to continue downwind, then let the traveller off a lot for the for this heavy stuff. Try to bring the main sheet in for a little bit of control, and then down we go. Okay, so 2 things there. One, if it's really super windy, you're intimidated, you don't like how things are going, then don't bring the main sheet in as you head up, and then when the boat stops turning, that is the angle that you're going to start your tack from. So bring in the main sheet at that point. But if it's not quite so windy, we're going to sheet in as we come up, and it'll be a lot nicer manoeuvre. Like if we're on the race course, usually they wouldn't have you out on the race course if it's 30 knots. So